into on this, what's today? Wednesday? On this wacky Wednesday. Decided to hop on, chop it up with individuals, see what's the talk of the town is going down the word on the curve. You heard me. Let me just set this up real quick. Hope everybody's having a nice, Wednesday out there, right? You already know here, Southern California was a beautiful day. Days are short, but they're still lovely nonetheless. It wasn't hot. It was, the perfect weather. So we had it lovely. It's a little bit chilly now, but we had it lovely earlier. Um, I did drop a new video for those who want to scope it out. I did drop a new video here on this channel, right, discussing, one of your California laws. For many people who are not aware and think that they know their laws, sometimes people aren't really up to game like how they think they are. So for people to get a better understanding, there is that. Oh, what's cracking like inside? What you getting yourself into, my boy? How's that good life treating you? Que es la buena vida, carnal. You already know we right here. We chilling on our lunch. Oh, that's right. It's your lunch break too, huh? I forget we take it at the same time. Just messing with some shit real quick right here. Whoops, whoopsie. Okay, I can leave it right there. Yeah. All right, cool. We straight. She's out of my way now. Because I had the box right here, like where the comments go, and sometimes I can't read them because that's just in the way. Sometimes it doesn't let me move it for some strange reason. YouTube be tripping sometimes, bro. What's good, Wes Carson? How you doing, my boy? How's everything going with you? I hope everything's good. How's the channel? Because, you had, chingon content. Okay, why is the homie texting me right now? He sees that I'm doing it live. It's like I hit them up when I'm not on live, and then everything's good. Thanks. Oh, that's right, my boy. That's all we can do on the grind, right? You still pushing your channel hard or what? Brocha gang, that's right, los brocheros. Oh, what's good, Mr. Pasa? Mr. Pasa's definitely up in the casa. What's good, my boy? Que es la buena vida, carnal. Largest neighborhood in the 818? In general, the biggest gang is probably Sanfed. I know people say Pacoima, but Pacoima's broke up into different gangs. So I could understand if Pacoima was one united gang, then yeah, it would be the deepest. But since they're not, since they're broken up into individual gangs, Sanfed is the biggest because they're all united. So Sanfed is the biggest gang, without a doubt. You know what I mean? Because of how long they've been around for. They've been around for so long and so many generations. And, not only do they conquer the city of San Fernando, but also of Sylmar, right? And they dominate both cities. So what is the biggest gang in East Los and in Boyle Heights? In East Los and Boyle Heights? The two to get, I would probably say Wyphens. Because of how long they've been around. Now, I know people say Maravillas, but Maravillas has the same problem as Pacoima. They're different gangs. I can understand if Maravilla was one united gang, then it would be Maravilla, but since they're not, I would have to say it's Wyphens. Because of how long they've been around for. Bigger than 18? 18 is the biggest in North Hollywood, right? But if we're talking about, because when you're talking about 18, you mean North Side 18. You know what I mean? Because North Side 18, West Side 18, South Side 18, East Side 18, even though they're all, 18th Street, and whatnot, they're their own individual different branches of that gang in the area. So if we're talking about in the area, no. And if we're talking about them in general, then yeah, they're the biggest gang out there, right? But since we're talking about, individual chapters, you meaning North Side 18, then no, they're not as big as them. Meaning, then Northside 18 is not as big as Sanford. But Northside 18 is the biggest in North Hollywood. You get what I'm saying? And I should know, they're one of our, arch nemesis too, right? So, I'm aware of how big they are, I mean, they're large, just not as large as these individuals. In the car is a ghost. Well, it's a good thing we don't believe in the supernatural. Is 18th Street really the largest Sureño barrio in general? In general, they are the biggest in general, right? Why is it that they're bigger than MS? Because they've been around longer than MS, right? So they got a head start in expansion, right? But just because they're the biggest in general doesn't mean that they're the biggest. Like, let's say, even in Los Angeles, like let's say the county of LA, Florencia is the biggest. But if we're talking about overall worldwide, then yeah, 18th Street is the largest, right? Because a lot of their individuals were illegally here, right? So when they would do a crime, they would get deported. And so a lot of them individuals getting deported and landing in their home countries got a chance to spread now their neighborhood, right? And then now individuals sneaking into different states, right? That's how the spread happened, right? And a lot of them individuals get deported, and instead of coming back to California, they would go now to a different state or whatever, and now spread the propaganda. So, you see? Please don't open the jar before Christmas. Will 18 beef with each other? Do they beef it with each other? No. There is dysfunction. Like, let's say, like any neighborhood, you have homies that don't get along with certain homies, and you see, conflicts, right? But to say that there's beef between like actual sets and sides, no. With individuals, yes, but groups, no. Let's get you. The largest barrio in Pasadena will have to be the Villa Boys, Pasadena King. Yeah, small neighborhood. How you know so much about Gang Shadow? Well, I lived this my whole entire life, right? Being in the streets, right? You get to meet different individuals, right? Being in the mix, right? You meet different homies from different neighborhoods. But as in, how do I know so much about like neighborhoods? Like on here, I didn't know much about neighborhoods. It wasn't until I did my YouTube channel, right? And the homies that I rap with, right? I drop videos, on their neighborhoods, right? They were like, hey, shoot, hey, do one on my neighborhood, right? And I did it, right? So then individuals now started hitting me up, right? And sending me all the information. So I got the information from them individuals, right? Because they hit me up and they tell me about their neighborhood. They send me pictures before I could do a video about them, right? But I didn't know much about none of these neighborhoods, So all the information comes from them guys. You know what I mean? They're the ones that put me up on game and, through emails and shit like that. I knew about some neighborhoods, but not like, oh, I have the knowledge on all these neighborhoods, right? All that shit comes from them, That's why my videos always make sure to say, the information comes from them individuals, right? So it's not like I claim to know it all, right? It's just that they just tell me what it is. I just merely, repeat what it is. You feel me? Tell your homies to buy more silver. Let's get the silver thing going. My girlfriend just left me for a 90-year-old. Damn, serio? Why? What did she see in the 90-year-old? Was it the 90-year-old was paying more attention to her, or is it that he's wealthy? And if he's wealthy, if that's the reason why she left you, then it's a good thing that she left you, bro, because you don't want a woman that just cares about your money to be around. Did you show Ronnie in LA about the battles? No, Ronnie in LA, has his own connections, and because he's really out there in the streets, you know what I mean? So that he does it all on his own, he's the homie right there, you know what I mean? So I know, I talked to him on the phone, he's on his grind. So, he actually knows people. He's actually tapped in. People may think that he's not, but homie's tapped in, Homie doesn't need no help. He's got it. You know what I'm saying? What city is Eastside 18th Street at? They are located in the city of El Sereno. You know, they have a strong branch right there close to East Side El Serrano, you know. You know, they go at it. They got pretty, you know, bad beef over there. Yeah, so they're in the city of El Serrano, so they tend to beef with all the gangs on that side, on the east side. What the avenues or playboys? Avenues and playboys are large gangs too. Don't get me wrong; they're big gangs. Just, you know, they just don't equal the numbers of, like, let's say, a Florence, a MS, or 18, right? That are in like the thousands, right? I mean, Playboy is large too, right? They got like up to like 5,000 members, right? But, you know, and that's actually something that came from law enforcement website, because you can go and log in and check yourself, right? It's public record to anybody. Yo, what up, dog? One love from the 323 and the 909. That's right. Shout out to the 323 and the 909. Uh, why cholas dressed like vatos seems very disrespectful to the food community. It was just the estilo, right? That's pretty much what it was. You know what I mean? They're just respected like any homie. They're not just like sex objects or something that's just around for homies to, like, you know, you know get their groove on or whatever. They're just like another homie. You respect the homegirls, right? They're not there for your sex pleasure or whatever. You know, you try to bust that shit with a homegirl, she's gonna end up fucking popping your ass. You know, they with the business. You know, there's some homegirls that are more with the business than more than some of the vatos. She could actually touch you. She can't touch you. Oh, I get it. What city is Southside 18th Street at? They're in the city of Carey. Is there any hoods in Arcadia? There's a neighborhood close to Arcadia, but to say that it's in Arcadia, no. Um, why didn't get my X-Men reference? Goodbye. Actually, I did, because your Gambit, anything you touch will explode. No, but see, Gambit could control that. You mean Rogue? Oh, but why? Why a 90-year-old man though? She wouldn't be able to touch him either. A hyena that pays fools with her boyfriend's money should get socked up. I don't get it. Serrano, Lock Street Gang, Hyena that only cares for the fool's money is a trick. Yeah, facts. That's a hyena that cannot be respected. Is MS big in Los Big? Yeah, it's big. It's got several branches, right? Yeah, they're big and have so many clicks. Yeah, because their clicks are spread out through different locations. You know, clicks is just a generational thing, right? Like I've always said, when people put in work and stuff like that, they're putting in work with people roughly their age, right? With making it a new set of individuals. Um, you know, I know people always think that it's older guys, you know, manipulating younger guys, but now it's younger guys are the ones putting work with people their age. That's how it always works. Real fighters don't have homegirls like that. Yeah. Yeah, when fools be like, yeah, we trained them in and everything. I never heard of such a thing, bro. Like, bro, why would you trust why would you trust and allow somebody like that to even be considered a part of your neighborhood, bro? Clearly they cannot be trusted. You know what I mean? They got no respect, they got no self-respect. So why would you think that they would keep it together with and trusting them with the neighborhood secrets then? That just does not make any sense at all. You know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe fools do that just for fools could be like, damn, these homies be smashing all kinds of females or what the fuck it is, right? Because I never witnessed that. And homies ain't around talking about shit like that. So I don't know. I think they get that shit from movies. Homegirls are. Have you heard about Summit Street Smokers Gang? What's an Avenue family and gang in Pasadena? No, I have not. Nah. The neighborhoods that are roughly small. You can't trust a female fool. You're a dummy if you trust a bitch. All bitches right up. Well, if that's how you see it, right? But there's some females that are solid, right? And I have seen kept it solid. It's more solid than some of the homies, right? I get it that that's the saying that people use and people repeat, right? But just because people are saying something and repeat something doesn't mean that it's true, though, right? Kind of like the same thing that people say, like, "Oh, those fools are taggers," or "Them fools ain't real. Them fools are taggers." Like, what is that supposed to mean? Like, a lot of homies used to be taggers before they were from the hood. So what? They ain't with the business. They were with the business. There's neighborhoods that used to be tagging crews that became neighborhoods that people respect, right? So what? Them homies were weenies. They once were weenies. So what does it mean when people be like, "Oh, they're just taggers"? See, that's the thing that people say, right, to try to discredit individuals. But if you really just give it the smallest of thinking, right, and question, it falls apart, bro. Like, that shit makes no sense, you know. But since it's something that people say and people repeat, they think that there's some solid, you know, there's something solid, you know, to what they're saying. But in all true reality, like, bro, you're saying that them fools are whack because of tank. You're telling me that your homie from over here, from a gang that used to be a tank crew, and how he's with the business and how they handle shit. So it's like you give credit to some taggers, but not all taggers. Like, I don't get it. You know what I mean? Like, I think, like, if some of your homies weren't taggers before, so what? They weren't with the business. They're not with the business. So it's like you pick and choose, or what's going on right here? Have you heard of the East Side Pasa? Yeah, that's a real neighborhood. Gang culture very different now than 80s and 90s. Somewhat, depending what we're talking about, though. Um, Scaring a girl, taking away her kids. That is facts, right? But see, that's the thing. Not all women have kids, and not all women will break just because you're threatening to take their kids away. That's what I'm saying. And you can say that that's a scandalous mom or whatever, but like I said, nonetheless, they do exist, though. You know what I mean? Yeah, sure, not as many as like men do, right? But they still exist, though. That's why you don't see as many female gang members that you do as male gang members. Like my neighborhood, we don't allow women into my neighborhood, but some women do exist that are from my neighborhood. You know, it's a rare occasion, but it does happen. And for the very exact same reason, though. Yeah, but you can say the same thing. More men snitch than females snitch. So could you say that then that they're downer? No, right? It's just that there's more men. That's why. Yeah, but in general, like if you want a female, right, then you don't want somebody who's from the streets or devoted to the streets because that just takes up a lot of understanding too, right? And you just don't want to be dealing with that. Like, let's say if you're not from the streets, right? Because it's gonna come. Obviously, they're gonna come with issues. Kind of like, people, wanting to marry a stripper. Then you should already know. You should already know everything that comes with that. Then. Then goes from Echo Park, the Vida Loca movie. Oh, I don't know. I don't know how to get down to their barrio if that's like, um, if there's something like, truth. If there's truth to that movie, right? Um, but yeah, I mean, there's some barrios nowadays that started off as female barrios that are now, primarily pure, vatos. Like I said, there's some females that I've seen that have laid out vatos and all kinds of shit, bro. There's some females that put in work. Before you seen them hanging out, now it's hard to see them hanging out. Okay, yeah. The reason for that is before you were able to do that. Before you were able to be posted out there, law enforcement couldn't tell you nothing. You know what I mean? Even if you had weapons, like let's say chains, bats, you were able to do that. There was nothing that cops were able to do about that back in the days, right? But now when new laws getting passed and stuff like that, right? The Nord loitering law, right? Which is, if you have no business being in that location, then you just can't stand around right there, right? Even at the parks, Even though it's a public area, right? If you're not doing nothing, then you can't be just chilling right there. So because these new laws get passed, right? And even before, they weren't allowed to search you without, um, like they were just able to search you before, right? Now, they need a reason why to search you, right? Um, so individuals now with shit changing, right? Or before they weren't able to go from the waist down, when they were patting you down, which is stupid, but now they're able to go all the way down, right? But like I said, when new laws and shit, getting put in, shit starts to change, right? So you just can't be out there posting out 30 and 40 deep. But that's what I said, that it's more dangerous now than it was before, because before you turn into a street, you see 30, 40 vatos, then you just go around or whatever the fuck, right? Now you think that is all cool. Oh, ain't nobody right here. This shit is cool. You park your car, whip. Next you know, they pop out of, because they're still in the area, bro. You know what I mean? You just can't see them, but they're still around. Trust me. You know what I mean? So they pop out of like fucking ninjas, homie, and next you know, you're fucked. You know what I'm saying? We have lookouts too. People that are not from the hood, they'll come and tell us if the cops are coming. Eloteros, paleteros also tell us that information, right? Like, hey, I viene La Chota. They're like 2 streets down, and then we dip. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta have lookouts. With times, individuals, they soak up game, right? They change strategies now. You know what I mean? You know the get down. And at the end of the day, you're still going to know the area better than them individuals, right? So you already know where to run to and what to do, right? Which fences are cut, you know what I mean? So, which people will actually let you, hide out at their paths. So, you already got it locked down on your block. They don't know that information. They take off chasing you, right? Like, oh, no trip. He won't be able to, come through the other end because, it's blocked off. And then they didn't know that you had cut the fucking fence off, right? You were just able to get through. You know what I mean? Oh, the gang injunction as well, for certain neighborhoods, right? But yeah, they took a lot of, rights that you had before. So that's why people aren't able to be like how they were able to be before. But like I say, obviously people still see that gangs still exist, right? They can't see them, but obviously, they're still around. You know what I mean? And before, like I said, homies were able to get away with more shit, right? Nowadays, you have, fucking cameras in everybody's fucking pockets, on every household because they're affordable now, right? They have cameras on their fucking, doorbells and fucking on their homes and in every business, right? They just have to follow. They go from every business just following the vehicle. Like, okay, we lose the vehicle right here, so you had to turn right here. So then they start following those cameras all the way till they follow you to your destination. Because there's literally cameras in every fucking single place. They just got to get that footage and just follow the car. Or they could just track you through your phone, right? Through cell towers. That's why you're not supposed to take a phone with you. You don't take a phone. You don't take a car that's all G'd up with big ass rims and a system and making it all obvious. You take a low key car and you dress like a normal civilian, hair to the side, glasses, a pink shirt maybe, right? In a regular vehicle that doesn't look, you bump no music. You go in there low pro. You're driving the speed limit. You do what you got to do, and then you take off the same way. Because they're going to be looking for a suspicious ass car driving at high speeds. Fucking, you know what I mean? And gang members inside. So obviously do the opposite of all of that. Like I tell my little homies. You know what I mean? Gotta be smart. But if you want to get caught up like the rest, then you can go right ahead. I mean, it's easy. The whole point is trying to get away, bro. But if you're trying to get caught up, I mean, go right ahead. It's as easy as everybody else does it. What do you think about rapper Little Menace? Well, he's a Christian now. Just tell them not to do wrong. Yeah, but that's the thing, though. Individuals are going to do what they're going to do regardless. You feel me? So it's like, if you're going to do something, then you might as well do something at the best of your ability because they're still going to do it regardless if you tell them not to or not, right? Because trust me, homies tell them, but they don't listen. You get what I mean? Even if you're their OGs, they're not going to listen to you, bro. Homies are going to do whatever they feel like they got to do. I know what I'm saying. You know what I mean? The only one that could convince these individuals to straighten up their lives are the people that are refusing to actually sit down and have a conversation with these individuals. OGs can't do it because they're not going to listen, like I said, you know? I remember my OGs telling me the same, and, one ear out the other, You in school, you would have people that would come and speak to the classroom. You had, cops, ex-gang members. But like I said, these fools are not listening to people like that, especially ex-gang members. They see them as like, bro, your word is trash. You know what I mean? They're not listening to people like that. The only people they could listen that they want to listen to are going to be the people that are the only ones that refuse to talk to them. And if they do talk to them, they talk to them in a way that's not appropriate by insulting them. You feel me? And I don't gotta say which way is that, because if you're Raza, then you should already know how Raza talks to their kids. You feel me? Yeah, but Little Man is a rapper. I think he's Christian. Behave yourself, because you uneducated children will end up in prison asking for money from your family. I'll send them. And you want to know why they send them money, even though they ended up doing wrong and they're in there, though. Why else would somebody do it? You would think, like, you shouldn't send him shit, man. He was out there, committing, crime and all that. Like, why even help them out? Why else would somebody else help somebody else out? It's guilty conscience. Maybe if they did something different, maybe shit would have been different. But like I said, by the time they realize to have that conversation, it's too late, bro. You know what I mean? What's cracking like a Playboy 1300? Mexican, my ninjas, we like his music, his skills in rap before he changed. All right, before he changed, he was cool. You know what I mean? He had some good rolas. I wasn't, like, let's say, a big fan of his music, and the only reason why is just that he makes more like love songs. You know what I mean? He's more like one of those rappers that more of the love type stuff, right? So he's one of the ones that you see a lot of females, bump and stuff like that. But because for that reason, I get it. It's marketable. It's something that's gonna make you a lot of feria, right? Because if you buy his album, most of those songs were like love tracks, and then maybe he had like 3 or 4 tracks that were like not, love tracks. You know what I mean? Sometimes the kids don't listen to parents. See, they don't listen to parents, but the reason for that, like, when people be like, yeah, but sometimes they don't listen to parents. The reason they don't listen to parents is because by the time the parents want to sit down and have this conversation with those kids, it's already too late. These kids are already full of rage. There's a reason why they're rebelling against their parents already. You feel me? It's for a reason. They just don't rebel. Like, they just don't, out of nowhere, for absolutely no reason, because nobody does nothing for absolutely no reason in this world. They start rebelling for a reason. What is that reason? Were you guys beating them before? Were you guys coming aggressively before? Were you guys disrespecting before? You feel me? That now they're behaving in this manner, and the reason why they're not listening. You get what I mean? And how are you still trying to get them to sit down and have these discussions with you? You feel me? Like, it takes them to see real emotions from you, like seeing that you actually really are caring, instead of just saying something because they're probably used to you lying to them, or maybe apologizing and then going back to the same behavior again. So it just becomes like, fuck that. Like, for what, if by tomorrow you're gonna be yelling and talking shit all over again? You get what I mean? There's a reason why they put up those defense walls. Like, oh, now you want to pay attention to me? Or now you want to know where I'm at? Or now you want to care about what I'm doing? Or now you want to hang out? Or now you want to know about me? But before, it was like you were too busy, or go over there, or you see me talking to my friend, or ahorita no, cabrón, pinche estúpido, baboso. You feel me? But now you wanna actually know what's up. Well, it's too late. Now I don't want to fucking talk to you. Now I don't want to hang out. Now it's too late. But that's because they're angry, right? Because teenagers, like I said, they're over dramatic. They blow stuff out of proportion. They don't know how to express themselves. They don't understand, right? It's a difficult time. That's why it's the most crucial time for you to be in your kid's life, roughly when they start going through puberty. Because that's the age where shit gets chaotic, right? Where they start thinking all these different thoughts, and they don't see stuff for what it is, right? That's why all teenagers react the same way. They're over dramatic. They blow stuff out of proportion. You get what I mean? They think they know it all. That's why that's the most crucial time to inject yourself in your child's life. Instead of telling them, I'm busy, you see me talking to my friend, I'm watching the game, go over there, leave me alone. They pick up on shit, so then they stop trying. Because every time I try to come with you with something, you always have something more important, going on. Or there's always something more important. Or your friend's opinion is more important, or your game is more important. But everything is always more important than what I got to say and what I have going on. You get what I mean? And of course that's going to build up resentment. Or let's say or neglect. They're always at work, right? And then when they are home, they're just sleeping or watching TV, but they're not paying attention to their kids. Yeah, you put food and a roof over their heads, but any stranger could do that. That's not being in your kids' lives. That's not conversating and actually caring about what your kid has going on. Clothing them and putting a roof over their head. Anybody could do that, bro. That's not actually taking care of your kid. Being a parent is more than that. It's actually getting to know them, sitting down, having conversations, showing interest in what they have going on. It's difficult to be a good parent. It is. That's why you get so many troubled individuals in this world. But all it really does take, I'm not saying you got to be there, 24/7 or always in their lives or keeping an eye over them. All it does take is just 10 or 15 minutes a day of just conversating with them, what they have going on, showing interest in their lives. That's all it takes, 10 or 15 minutes a day of just showing some type of interest in their lives, and bam, they'll turn out straight. But like I said, there's some people that refuse to sit down or think that talking to them this way is no big deal. He knows I love him. He knows I'm just playing, or when I'm mad that I just say stuff like that. No, they don't. Especially when they're going through puberty, bro. They're going to start believing you mean or see them the way you're always talking to them. Words do hold and carry damage if they're coming from people that they idolize. They don't want to hear the people that they idolize and love with all their heart telling them how they're fucking useless or stupid or babosos or anything like that. That's stuff that shouldn't come out of the mouths of people that they fucking put so high and look up to. You get what I mean? Because it will take effect on them. Do you think friends in school can influence them to join gangs? It's not so much that, right? Because like I said, if they come from a good household, there's no need for them to go and look for, to look to belong to something. You feel me? If they already have something stable here, right? They're not going to want to, ruin that relationship to now go and create a different relationship, right? Because no one's going to be able to outdo their parents, somebody that they actually love and look up to, right? The only reason why they seek validation anywhere else is because it's absent here. That's why they have that sense of belonging. That's why they go over here. You get what I mean? Because you have individuals, like I said, that grew up with gang members, but they don't end up becoming members of that gang, even though they hang out with them and they know them and stuff like that. It's for a reason, right? Because like I said, if it was that, then they would be influenced to join in the neighborhoods. But you see that there's a lot of cases out there where people grew up amongst these individuals and never once joined the gang. Why? It's not because that they're smarter, because at that age, like I said, people make stupid choices and decisions when they're younger. But why is it that a lot of these kids don't turn out to be members of the neighborhoods? It's not because they're out or they're smarter than all these individuals. What is being done different for these individuals to wanting to join and not wanting to join? Or why were these individuals out there while these other kids were not out there? You feel me? What is being done different? You know? What is the source of all of this? If you look at it, it cannot be nothing else but the parenting. The reason for it. You know what I mean? Because like I said, these individuals are growing up and they are aware that your homies are dying, homies are getting life in prison, homies are getting shot, stabbed. They see all of this amongst these individuals, but yet they still want to be out there and join these neighborhoods. Something that's bringing you all of this and they still want to join? For what reason? They're so desperately looking to belong to something that even this looks, reasonable enough. Because they don't have the love anywhere else. Because if they did, they wouldn't have to, look for it somewhere else. When you have a family, you don't look for a different family. It's only those that feel like they don't got nothing that look to just join whatever. Feel me? All right, ladies and gentlemen, my lunch break is over. It was good chopping it up with you guys, and we out.